Our dear host, Dr. Natalia Kanem, the Executive Director of UNFPA, Your Excellency Delphine O, Ambassador of, and Secretary General of the Forum Génération Égalité France, Your Excellency Hajit Sajjan, Minister of International Development and Minister responsible for the Canadian Pacific Economic Development Agency, our Minister of Health, Sabah, women leaders and allies, dear friends, good morning. I hope fresh Rwandan coffee started off your day pleasantly as mine did. A woman once asked what the world would be today if the gendered obstacles that women and girls face in their development had never existed. Yes, this world would be a kinder place, one where parents could enjoy the birth of a daughter without the aching worry that this daughter may grow up to be harmed and stifled simply for her gender identity. We can only imagine how developed, how inclusive, how evolved a world could be with twice as much harnessed potential. But why should we simply imagine? Why should this reasonable target feel like a dream? Is the systemic controlling of women and girls, the governance of women and girls' bodies and minds, truly the fate our world has chosen? Women will not be discouraged by the extent of the work ahead. Equality is our birth promise right, and it can and will be secured. Ladies and gentlemen, when women's bodily autonomy is overstepped, when women's health is compromised, the choices that affect them the most are taken out of their hands. They're infantilized and often exploited. And yet, created equal as we are from birth, women are equally capable and deserving as men to decide on their own fate and make valid choices impacting the welfare of their communities. Our choices can be equally instrumental as men's judgments to achieving sustainable development. So why are preventable strains allowed to fester at the cost of countless women's power of choice? But this is the good fight that UNFPA has chosen to engage in, reclaiming women's equal right to health, to bodily autonomy, to wellness, promoting and preserving women's right to know safety and well-being over unnecessary and avoidable sufferings, ending maternal death, ending the unmet need for family planning, ending gender-based violence, and all harmful practices. UNFPA, your transformative agenda, aligns with Rwanda's vision of an empowered, dignified, protected population across genders. Thank you for offering committed collaboration to those who, like you, refuse that women who are so often nurturers, protectors, helpers should be made to feel helpless. Ladies and gentlemen, partnering with UNFPA has been nothing short of conducive. For women to be healthy, they need strong health systems. A strong health system has optimal services tailored to the population it serves. A strong health system is one that can mobilize populations to protect their own health and their communities' wellness too. And a strong system is one that prevents more than it treats, through education, through public engagement, and encouragement of healthy lifestyles and practices. Such a system catalyzes prolific life choices for men and women. There must be the political will to deploy all necessary resources to health for all. And this will must give way to appropriate budget allocations, policies and laws, and synchronized efforts across all state branches. There must also be the dynamic I feel the people in this room embody, a commitment to selfless, devoted collaboration between activists, advocates, organizations, and senior leadership. I can only encourage you today in trusting and investing in sound partnerships, for here we have witnessed their transformative power firsthand. Ladies and gentlemen, before I close my remarks, I wish to thank the women-led organizations and feminist organizations present here today for the groundwork they engage in every day. the rights that we have claimed for all women, with the backing of visionary leaders, are the reason we are here today. The reason we are able to defend our right to choose health, to equally contribute to our country's development, and to be successful in any of our endeavors. Thank you for being your sister's keepers. I urge you to keep some of the grace and love you give the world for yourself as well. Dear guests, may we all, as members of society, pledge to be the custodians of women's basic human rights to parity. May the leaders on whom women's fate depend realize that every day of gender inequality is a moral, social, and economic failure. Do we really want indifference to be our legacy to a world that needed us to act? Thank you for your kind attention and work, and I wish you a wonderful session.